Hi guys, welcome back to Ego Startups. In this tutorial, I'm going to show us how I was able to overcome the issue of linking my Cloud AI single chart, that is individual chart, that isn't or that wasn't in a project, how I was able to link it to my chart in a project such that so that I can continue my code, my project work in that project. Now, I was working on a project, and that project was an individual chart, but as usually know, those of us that use Cloud AI, once your project or once your chart hits the limit, you can't go further. And it will be a bit difficult to continue it in a different chart. So I wanted to move it into the project, but I couldn't. Cloud has not developed a system like ChatGPT where you can manually move your chart into a project. So I did a bit of research on how I could continue my chart work in a project, but somehow I couldn't. So I spent some hours pondering and brainstorming, and I was able to come out with a process that helped me through. So that's what I want to share with us, to those of us rather who do programming using Cloud AI. Okay, so now let me share my screen and show us the chart, the single chart that I had the issue, and what I did to continue my work in the project, right? So now let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so now let me open the Cloud app itself. Now this is the initial chart. As you can see, this is this very chart here. This is my project, but as you can see, I have tons of charts here that I've done. But this is the very one. This is the very one I was working on that had the issue, right? This is the very one that I was working on that had the issue. So I open it. Now let me scroll to the top. Quite a lengthy. Now, please, for those of us that are using free plan, this cannot be done using the free plan. I'm using the pro plan here. I'm using the pro plan. I believe I'm using the pro plan here. I tried running it after my plan expired. I tried running it on a free plan, but it couldn't even write a single script. Right, so, and I had to continue. And the project I was working on here is the development of a task through project management system, which of course I've actually finished. I will show the screen at the end of the day. So this is what I was working on, right? And it's quite a lengthy one. And it actually began the work. Right, I'm sure you can see it, yes. It began the work until I did quite a lot. Until I wanted to write this last screen here. I don't know if I can zoom this. Okay, I can't zoom. I wanted to work on this last one here, but it didn't. As you can see, it's kept showing me continue. I even wrote this. Okay, summarize the chart for export. It didn't work. I asked it to, okay, just give me a summary alone. It didn't work. So I began to wonder, what do I do? Because I need this feature added to the system, and I need to also create a room such that if I want to make feature upgrades to the system, I can actually do it. Let me pause a bit and get the application. Okay, I'll be back in a short while. Okay, now here is the application I was working on. As you can see, I just had to log in, and I have finished this application, right? It's actually for my small business. I found it difficult. No, it was becoming tasking, memorizing all the tasks I needed to assign to my staff. So I said, no, let me create a simple project stroke task management system that will enable me at the comfort of my seat or whatever, assign tasks to my staff, you know. So that was what led me to building this stuff. And like I said, I tried to continue, but it failed. So what I now did was I logged into, here I'm using the app, right? The PWA app. That's what this is it here. Now I logged into the web app of the same cloud, and then created a project. I created a new project which I called Task Stroke Project Management System. I'm sure we can see there. Yeah, I created this project, right? And then what I did was to enable, I said, okay, let me do a test. I said, let me do a test. I came to the project knowledge, created this. Let me just show you what I did. I said, I have an existing chart with name project management web application development, which is what you are seeing here. This is in the PWA app of Claude AI, and this is the name of the chart, right? Now, I said, I have an existing chart with name. Refer to that chart in this project to have a knowledge of the project I'm working on. Then, I also shared this project. Now, I've made it private, but I shared it before now, so I could get the link, right? So I could get the shareable link. And that is what, as I said, here is the link to my chart, right? Right? So I added a link. Now, I still went back here, copied all the entire the entire chart. I copied everything, then came here. No, okay, while in the project, let me go back here. I can see, I copied all, came to this project, pasted it here, and then began my discussion, right? Now, let me also show us. If you see the beginning part, now see, I pasted this. I pasted all of this. I copied it I just Control A, right? I copied everything from top to bottom. I copied it, now pasted it in the new chart that is within the project. I'm sure we're getting the point. I opened a project. Let me go back again because it's quite, you need to understand the process. I opened a project tab, created a new project and called it Task Stroke Project Management, right? That's the name of this project. As you can see, that's the name. Then on the project knowledge, I added this stuff here. This is a bit instruction. I call it startup instruction. No, sorry, set project instructions. I added there. Then went back to Cloud, my chart in the PWA of Cloud, copied the entire chart, right? then pasted it in the new chart. And that's what I've seen here, right? Pasted it in the new chart. That's what I've seen here. I don't know how you're going to look if I open it, but I pasted it here. Then I wrote, I have an existing chart with name, blah, blah, blah. Refer to that chart in the project to have a knowledge of the project I'm working on. Here is the link to that chart. I repeated what I added in my knowledge base, okay? I have also pasted the chart history here. Sorry, please, that was an airplane passing by. And it started flying over my roof. Okay, so after I've written this, I refer to that link I shared, and I also wrote here, I have also pasted the chart history here, which is this one. Now, say use the chart history as stated above to create this reset password page. Remember, that was where I got stuck here, reset password page. That was what I wanted to do, but I couldn't continue. So that was what I now asked the this chart to do for me using the history, and awesomely, it did a good work. So what it said, it said, based on the comprehensive project details from your chart history, I will create a secure reset password page that integrates perfectly with your Kira project. And this is a name that Claude gave to the project. I renamed it to whatever I wanted, right? And I said, perfect. I have created a comprehensive and secure reset page that integrates seamlessly with your, you repeated it again here. Here is the blah, 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 blah. Okay? Now, this is also because I don't know how it happened, but it worked out perfectly well for me. Then, just to make sure I test again to be sure it's working well, I said modify the login page, right? Modify the login page. Now let me see. Let me see. Unfortunately, I can't lay hold on the existing login page didn't have. Sorry, the previous login page before this didn't have forgot your password. It didn't have it before, right? It didn't have. It wasn't as awesome as this, but it was okay to work with, right? Unfortunately, I didn't take a screenshot of that page, but here's what I did. I said, modify the login page by adding the forget password link. Kindly add kindly add, oh, sorry. There's an error here. What I wanted to say is, kindly do not modify or change the entire code on the login page. Only add code or script for forget password. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, what I said here is, the login page is already existing. Now, do not modify the existing script, even though it did, but whatever it did, the new stuff it came out with came out better. But it still gave me something that is working, right? So what I said is, do not modify or change the entire code on the login page. Only add the code or script that regards to forget password, right? So awesomely well, it came and added it here, right? So if I click on forget password, it will take me to the page where I can reset my password, right? So this is basically how I was able to transit from individual charts to the project, right? So as I progress now, everything I have, if I want to do any form of update or upgrade in this project, I can comfortably do it knowing that Claude already has a history of the entire project even from outside. So I strongly suggest you follow the process, and it will be easy for you, right? Just create create a shareable link of your existing project, and then create a new project, start a new project, and give it a history of the project like you are doing in the chat. Add a title, add a shareable link, and boom, Claude will do the rest. Thank you. And if this discussion has benefited you in any way, I will appreciate if you give me a thumb up. Okay? Thank you and remain blessed.